You won't believe the bizarre rules that exist in the NBA rulebook. From players having to tuck in their jerseys to strict guidelines on throwing towels in the air, there are some truly crazy regulations that even die-hard fans don't know about. In this video, I'll count down the 13 craziest NBA rules that will make you shake your head in disbelief. You'll learn about obscure rules, from illegal uniforms to restrictions on flu games. I guarantee that the baffling world of NBA rules will completely blow your mind by its conclusion. The NBA rulebook contains over 600 pages of regulations that govern professional basketball in North America. While most fans know the basics, like traveling and double dribbling, there are some lesser-known rules that sound completely wacky. In today's video, we will uncover 13 of the strangest NBA statutes. Learning about these odd clauses sheds light on how detailed the league's operations are. From wardrobe requirements to scorer table etiquette, we will explore rules that make you go, huh? Get ready to be amazed by some of the weirdest edicts you never knew were in the books. Number 1. Players must tuck in their jerseys. One of the most commonly broken NBA rules is the mandate that players must keep their jerseys tucked in at all times. It's not unusual to see the top stars playing with their jerseys untucked as a style statement. But according to the official rules, an untucked jersey is an illegal uniform violation. Referees can call technical fouls if players don't fix them when warned. The league sees it as a safety issue to avoid grabbing. But for fans, this rule can seem highly nitpicky, especially on stars they are paying to see play. Number 2. Only 2 towels. Allowed to wave on the bench. The NBA limits how teams can cheer for their players from the bench. One lesser-known rule is that only 2 towels are permitted to wave to encourage players on the court. If a third towel starts waving, the referees can hit the bench with a delay of game warning. Coaches also can't stand on the court or overzealously wave towels either. So while the players battle on the court, bench players have to carefully coordinate their towel waves to avoid a penalty. Number 3. 5-second inbound limits. We all know about the shot clock and 8-second backcourt violations. But a more obscure timing rule in the NBA is the 5-second limit to inbound the ball. After any made basket or dead ball situation, the player inbounding must pass the ball in within 5 seconds. If they fail to do so, the ball is turned over to the opposing team. This rule speeds up the pace of play and forces teams to strategically inbound rather than taking excess time plotting their next move. Number 4. Only 6 pre-game outfit changes are permitted. NBA arenas have become known for flashy player introductions and outfits, but the league only permits 6 total uniform shoe changes, from warm-ups to player introductions. This rule aims to shorten the downtime between warm-ups and tip-offs. It prevents too many outfit changes that extend the pre-game time. Some marquee players have complained about this rule stifling their creativity and fun, but the league stands firm in limiting the changes to keep games on schedule. Number 5. Headbands, wristbands, and tights must match uniform. The NBA has very specific rules about accessories complementing uniforms. Any headbands, wristbands, or tights worn during games must match the dominant uniform color. For example, on a white jersey night, those accessories must be white. The league sees this as a presentation and professionalism edict. In the past, fashionable players have complained when forced to switch their accessory colors, but matching uniform colors are now strictly enforced across the NBA. Number 6. Only 6 technical fouls per season. Unlike soccer, NBA players can't relentlessly argue calls without consequence. Each player is only allowed 6 technical foul arguments per regular season before stricter penalties set in. After 6 games, the next violation results in a 1-game suspension. Every 2 additional techs leads to another 1-game ban. This prevents players from excessively disputing calls and demonstrably showing up officials. Once in the playoffs, technical fouls reset and the count starts over. But for the regular season, players have to carefully manage their arguments. Number 7. Active players can't publicly push rule changes. The NBA restricts current players from publicly advocating for rule changes while actively playing. They can privately relay feedback to the league office. But pushing agenda-driven rule changes publicly is strictly prohibited. The NBA sees this as essential to preserving the game's integrity. If stars could freely lobby for rule tweaks during their careers, it could undermine the officials and league brand. While retired players and outsiders have called this a draconian free speech restriction, the NBA remains firm on barring current players from public rule change advocacy. Number 8. Dunking not permitted. Before games or halftime, fans have come to expect highlight reel dunks in warm-ups from stars like LeBron James or Aaron Gordon. But technically, dunking is prohibited prior to games or halftime under NBA rules. The league wants to minimize wear and tear and potential injuries before meaningful action begins. It also aims to preserve the excitement of in-game dunks. But this rule is only lightly enforced with warnings. If players kept blatantly dunking pre-game after cautions, they could face fines or other repercussions. Number 9. Teams can't intentionally foul to stop fast breaks. A common tactic in close games is for a trailing defender to intentionally foul a player to prevent a score in transition. But in recent years, the NBA has instituted rules against this practice to keep the action flowing. Now refs can award one free throw and retain possession for overt intentional fouls, halting fast break advantages. The penalty for breaking up the rhythm of the game aims to prevent disadvantages for exciting, free-flowing teams. Number 10. Ejections for too many flagrant foul points. Unlike regular personal fouls, flagrant fouls come with a point system attached. Each flagrant foul counts for 1 point. The more dangerous flagrant 2 fouls tally 2 points. When a player reaches 5 flagrant foul points, they face automatic ejection and a 1-game suspension. For every additional flagrant foul after 5 points, the suspension count increases by 1 game. This penalty system cracks down on overly physical, dangerous play. But some critics argue that accidental flagrant fouls can accumulate quickly and lead to unfair suspensions. Number 11. Only personnel and players. Within 15 feet of the bench during play, the area directly around the bench is restricted during live game action. All coaches, players, and personnel must remain within 15 feet of the bench during play, unless substituting into the game. This prevents coaching staff and reserves from roaming too far down court and influencing the active action. Teams have been issued delay of game warnings and technical fouls for violating this bench decorum rule. It keeps the coaches in their proper place and avoids any interference with play on the court. Number 12. League office can alter final scores within 72 hours. In the rare case of major scorers' table errors, the NBA League office has the authority to alter box scores within 72 hours after games. They reserve the right to correct any statistical errors that significantly impact records. For example, if a scorekeeper awards points to the wrong player, that could be amended post-game. But generally, players have to live with the stats accumulated in that game, even if a mistake occurs. Only under special circumstances would the league exercise its right to alter final scores after the fact. Number 13. Halftime must be exactly 15 minutes, not including entertainment. NBA halftimes must follow a regimented schedule timed to the second. By rule, the mid-game break is exactly 15 minutes from the end of the second quarter to resuming play. This does not include any extra time for entertainment, announcements, analysis, or promotions. Teams are fined substantial amounts if they delay returning to the court after 15 minutes. Unlike college or international basketball, NBA rules mandate a strict halftime time limit. Even when popular music acts perform, teams still must be back on the floor after a 15-minute recharge. So there you have it. 13 of the most obscure and surprising NBA rules you never knew were on the books. From limiting towels waved to the halftime time limits, the league rulebook contains some truly wacky regulations.